how good it feels to contribute in a way like this after transferring and waiting to have a moment like this.
I mean, it looked like it did in practice for the most part. I mean, everybody got to their assignments, did their jobs, and it opened up. And, as far as contributing, obviously it feels good. I've been here for a year without playing, doing a lot of practice squad stuff, and I know that stuff helps the team, but it feels a lot better when you can put it on the scoreboard and you can help your team win.
To your right in the first row, Michael.
Ty, with Davion struggling to get going, the running game struggling to get going, how critical is it that you guys can bring someone like yourself in or somebody else in and kind of change things up for the offense?
I think that's the nice part about it, just us having such a deep running back room. If one guy's not going, somebody else in the room is going to be able to go. So, maybe if it's not Davion, if it's not me, you have Drake, Derek, Ross, Taylor Douglas. I mean, there's a lot of guys in there who do a good job.
Thank you. First row to your left.
Can you talk about the performance, offense, defense, whatever it is, regarding first half versus second half? I mean, you guys came out, coming out well, put some points on the board in the first half, and it seemed to overall a little bit more of a struggle in the second half. Was there something missing in your regard?
Missing? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they were in their locker room making adjustments. So they weren't, doing the same thing we did to them in the first half, but I feel overall the defense played well. Obviously it wasn't a perfect game, but we'll go back, look at it, clean it up, and next game try and do a lot better both halves.
Very end of the first row to your right, Steve.
Hey, Todd, can you talk about the patience that you needed to have on that run? I mean, it looks exciting and everything, but you have to be patient. Talk about some of the key blocks that you got. I don't know if it was Brother Graham who threw one or two blocks for you.
Yeah, that's within the design of the play. You just kind of have to pace yourself, and then obviously got Graham pulling and kind of making cuts off him, and see where everybody else's blocks were. And like you said, that's one of those plays you can't really run it too fast. You want to outrun your blocks, so yeah, just had to take my time and let the blocks develop and set them up.
Please raise your hand if you have a question for the student athletes. In the middle, third row, Chris.
Running as well as the defense played, is it still disappointing that you give up the drive for a touchdown there at the end?
Defense played pretty good, but we shouldn't have given up any points. There was some sloppy play out there towards the end of the game, and sprinkled in the first half, there were some sloppy plays. But the encouraging thing is, I think when we do clean it up, defense is just going to be real good the rest of the season.
Directly behind him, Max.
Ty, what was the toughest part for you in sitting out all last year?
Probably just not being able to play. I've never had to do that before. I felt like I got better in that season, so it was something I could take away from it. But more than anything, just not being able to play contributed.
Back to the first row, in the blue, Michael.
Ryan, you were saying that a little disappointing. Was there a point? It seemed like in the third quarter, some struggles were encountered. Maybe on the offense, the energy sagged a little bit in the game. How hard is it to kind of play through that? And did that impact maybe them getting a couple big plays on you guys defensively?
I think the big plays were just us not being completely focused with our job, not enough pass rush with the D-line, I know for sure. But I just think the big plays are just a lack of focus and not really the energy that the offense has, but just a lack of focus on the defensive part.
More questions? Back row, in the middle. 1 second, please. The mic is on its way.
Either one of you guys can address this. After 3 games for all here, is there a message that you kind of give you guys after each game, regardless of the win or the loss?
I just think he wants us to play hard. Do your job is probably the biggest thing that he's been preaching since he's been here, and it resonates when the defense goes out there and gets stops, and we can put points on the board and keep them off the field. Let them get a breather, and vice versa. They play well, we play well. So I think the biggest thing is just do your job, and everything will take care of itself.
All the way to your right, standing up.
Ryan, I realize you're your own harshest critic, but can you at least for a moment step back and appreciate what you guys were able to do in terms of at least establishing a defensive identity these last 2 weeks, sans the first drive of the Oregon State game? Can you take away some positives from that and feel that you guys are establishing an identity of some sort, and if so, what is it?
I think the identity we're establishing is that we're going to hit you in the mouth, regardless of who you are, how big, strong, the alignment are, how fast receivers are. We're gonna try and hit you. We're gonna try and play fast.